Now, up to 10 people are dead after a series of bomb attacks tore through the northern Nigerian city of Kano. Police buildings and the offices of the Immigration Service were among the targets. The Islamist group Boko Haram, which has increased its attacks in Nigeria in recent months, has claimed responsibility for the attacks. Well, joining me now is Ayo Johnson, who's director of the news website Viewpoint Africa. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. So, the scale of these attacks, what does it tell us about the nature of Boko Haram, who it seems are responsible for them, and what's behind them now?
Yes, they've admitted they've caused it, but clearly they've become that much sophisticated. Clearly they've infiltrated the police force and the intelligence services. It's a failure by the government to be able to protect its own people. And it just shows that Boko Haram has the ability to attack at will, which is clearly trying to show so, but more so the audacity and the flair and the flamboyant style in which it's capable of doing so.
And so far, what's the government's reaction been? I mean, I understand that there's been some kind of curfew in place.
There's been a curfew. Again, it's total lockdown, and of course, in many respects, meltdown, concern, alarm, panic, and of course, the government's threatened to get rid of Boko Haram, but clearly unable to do so. And of course, there are a lot of residents now living in Kano and surrounding areas who are very, very concerned for their own personal safety. Boko Haram has already said that they want to create a bit of ethnic cleansing against many Christians, which they've clearly shown over Christmas and many other dates from that, you know. So
referring to the attacks on churches.
Absolutely, yeah. And also they've made it very clear they want to create Nigeria into an Islamic state. So they're hell bent on doing so and creating panic as they go about doing so.
So I mean, given the kind of the nature of these kinds of attacks, what can the government do to try and reduce the risks?
Well, it can work closely with its neighbours, which it's already doing. It can actually increase the sophisticated nature of its intelligence services to be able to identify the Boko Haram sect and try and break them up that way. But also it can also address some of the fundamentals which lead to Boko Haram having the ability to be able to recruit supporters and sympathisers, which is poverty, inequality, and of course a fair share of the Nigerians' oil wealth trickle down. So if we can't address creating jobs for many of the youth, then they're not going to be disillusioned enough to join sects and support Boko Haram. And
it's a very dangerous time, isn't it, in Nigeria? We've got strikes going on, these kind of types of attacks. So politically, where does this go next for the president?
Well, there's a president who's already strained excessively so, under immense pressure, locally because of the strikes which were due to fuel subsidies, again with Boko Haram applying excessive pressure, and also the fraction that already exists between the divide between politically, that is, and religiously, so between North and South, the Muslim and Christians.
Is there any chance of some kind of talks to bring Boko Haram in and try to negotiate with them at all?
I don't think so. They're so far apart in terms of ideology, and Boko Haram has shown itself being on the very fringes of the society in terms of its mindset and what it wants to do. I don't think the government would want to do. I think the government has no other choice but to fight with Boko Haram. The problem is it going to become like another Somalia in terms of how Al-Shabaab has been able to cause a lot of problems for that government? So I think fighting out Boko Haram is going to be dangerous. It's going to be urban warfare, and it will be very destructive for Nigeria moving forward. Clearly, containing them, fighting them is going to be very difficult.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Ayo Johnson, for your analysis there. Thank you.